So you can probably see that I have golden berries that are now ready to eat. You can tell that it's orange, even from the outside of the golden berry that's orange inside there, as opposed to this one, which is still green, right? So I can start harvesting golden berries, yay! And for breakfast, I'm having lentils cooked with, well, I'll explain what it's cooked with. And then James is having an omelet. So, James's omelet is cooked with Swiss chard. Wow, this is really wet and it's really not keeping my butt dry, this plastic thing. Well, I'm gonna have a wet butt. Swiss chard, golden zucchini on the inside with Himalayan salt, pink salt, and pepper. I think that's all I put in there. And multigrain toast and some tomatoes on the side. He's also having apple juice. My breakfast is, my protein is the orange split lentils cooked with garlic, the red jalapeno peppers, and apple juice. I cooked mine in apple juice. He's drinking his apple juice, but my lentils are cooked in the apple juice. Because if you increase the sweet, then you can increase the heat and you don't notice it. So I was able to put a fair amount of red jalapeno in because I cooked with apple juice. And what else did I put in there? Cumin. I don't know. I really wasn't paying attention. And I was very tired when I was doing this morning. So anyway, it'll be good. And I'm just eating iceberg lettuce because that was given to me and I'm very thankful. I put some raw sunflower seeds on top and some orange tomato. James is having the red stuff. So I wanted to mention, I really want to eat that. I'm really hungry. So this deck talk is not going to be very long because I want to tear into that, unless James will talk about the videos rather than me. So I mentioned that I liked this Wild Beauty book. Now, I noticed that some of the recipes for things, it doesn't say double boiler okay, I should have marked them because now I'm going to have a hard time finding them. Okay, for the things like lip balm and stuff like that, if you've ever made them before, then you know that you make them in a double boiler. So here she says, here's one. Coconut body butter. Heat 3 inches of water in pot over medium heat. Once it boils, turn down to simmer. Add shea butter, cocoa butter, coconut oil, right? And you know that is not, that's not a complete, her recipe here, you don't add well, you can try if you want to, but I wouldn't. I would never add the shea butter, cocoa butter, coconut oil, to the 3 inches of water. I would put them in the double boiler, which is sitting on top of the now simmering water. So, so if you read through the recipes and you just add it to the water, well, I don't think that's going to turn out that well. So, but I love this recipe book. And a lot of it's essential oil blends and stuff like that. Sounds really nice. Now, I also wanted to mention, I forgot to mention it because I hadn't bookmarked it, and I should bookmark everything before I come out to read. And sometimes I bookmark it and I'm like, what did I bookmark this page for? Whatever. It's easier for me to use the bookmarks than to write out notes, and I don't feel like doing that anymore. You can read your own books. So, page 45, essential oils during pregnancy. Anyway, she says oils to avoid during pregnancy, and there's a list of them there. And some of the things I really like. But you'd want to avoid those apparently. And but then she also mentioned some oils that are safe during pregnancy. I like a lot of those too. So, why not? Even if you like some of the ones, say you're really accustomed to using fennel and basil. I knew the basil already from taking holy basil supplements. It says not to if you're pregnant. Camphor, cinnamon, cedar, clove. Anyway, you're accustomed to using those, but those you avoid during pregnancy. But just look for the safe ones and say you like bergamot, frankincense, geranium, lavender, ginger, patchouli, lemon, sandalwood. I love sandalwood. Rose, and well, you know, it's interesting reading about these things because the things that I like the most, they're things that are relaxing and relieve anxiety, so, and relieve depression. So it's funny that those things are the things that I'm drawn to most of all. Anyway, so for other people, you might find that you're really drawn to other scents. Anyway, that's all I wanted to mention is that page. I think that's a lot of people would find that useful. So that's page 45 of, well, I don't need this any longer. Wild Beauty. So, and that's by Jana Blankenship. So, anyway. Now, I don't know why James isn't out here. He came out, he went back in. I don't know why. So, I'll talk about this one, Little, which I did not find it that good. So, I didn't like it. It's about a crabby woman who is turned young. So it's like the movie Big, only backwards. And the box even looks quite 80s. It looks like it could have come out around the time when Big came out. But and it's mostly African American cast, which is fine, but it really didn't appeal to me, the movie. It just I don't know why people aspire to this I want to say American dream kind of ideal, which doesn't exist, and it just makes me sad. So when I see African Americans striving for this, you know, the giant walk-in closets and the whatever that fancy car was, and all this whatever, it just makes me kind of sad, because that's, I guess if you're some sort of sports celebrity or something like that, maybe that is your reality, or I don't know. Anyway, it just it's not realistic. It's very sad, but yet nobody's tuning into my blog, which is showing how you can live really poor and quite well. You know, like this meal that I'm gonna have for breakfast, sure, it's iceberg lettuce, it's not that great. I could have went for the Swiss chard if I wanted to, but I'll eat some of that later, and honestly, it's a pretty good meal. I'm very thankful for it, and I'm sure awesome. James is very thankful for his.
Yeah.
Also, trying to pop the bag.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I was sitting down on a whoopee cushion. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounded like the talking that was taking place up stairs last night. Yeah, I had to tell Anford it was God talking.
Oh, the thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly right. She was scared. There's
There
just
was
one
good
big
thunder.
peal.
Yeah.
One big peal of thunder,
was.
and that was enough to
Impressive.
get her to jump up on the sofa with me.
Oh, poor little
By the
darling.
cuddle. Exactly right.
Anyway, how did you feel about this movie, Little?
Actually, it wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? It had a few things to say. A kid might have appreciated it. It might have had something to say to dominant types.
Maybe.
You know?
I don't.
Of course, they're not going to listen to any
No.
message or anything like that. The only message is what's coming out of their orifices.
The Crest. How did you feel about that one?
Okay, the Crest.
That was the surfing in Ireland.
That was so hilarious. I think they were saying they were exaggerating. Oh, they got a 2-inch wave there, but they were from their ancestors were from this island off the western, I think southwestern, around Dingle Bay or something like that. So the west of Ireland, and they took their surfboards there, and it didn't quite work out for them. But they claimed that it was a awesome experience. There was some pretty good music. There was this. Their family had already figured. People were trying to track their family down because someone had come back around 1990, over 100 years ago, and brought back a fiddle and then left it there, and they weren't able to track this fiddle down. So the high point of it was at the end. A pretty darn good fiddler got hold of that fiddle and played it maybe for the first time in 100 years and stuff
Good.
like that. It was one of those Irish.
So you liked the show?
I liked it pretty good. It was kind of cute. I was expecting the worst, pretty
Yeah.
surfing in the west coast of Ireland. What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
But yeah, the fiddle music was Yeats wrote something like, "Never was there piping." So, what was it? Sad. Never was piping so gay. It's Irish. It was kind of like it's sad and it's happy. It's sad even when it's like one of those jigging fiddle tunes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, anyway, I guess James has given the yes vote to probably all of these things, because I actually like this one.
Which one was that?
This is that Mr. Mercedes.
Yeah, it's pretty
Season
darn
1.
good. Who expected it from this
I
big,
know.
rough-faced, rough-talking? Well, he's kind of got his voice sounds like Bono. It's kind of a little bit high, so it's kind of.
He's really believable in this character.
Yeah, he is.
Very believable, and I love the way he was. Okay, just at the beginning, sometime you're introduced to his pet. And it's wonderful because he goes outside and he's cursing,
Fred.
Yeah. And you're
Fred's
thinking, well, he's got to be, but
Yeah.
he is not. So I won't give it away because it's really cute.
It is very
and
cute.
very believable,
Very
that,
believable.
because that's how, when you're grumpy in the morning and you're
Yeah.
having to deal with feeding the pets, you might not call them by a nice name.
No,
you might.
no. And this
Their
pet,
work.
can I give it out that it's low maintenance?
Very low maintenance.
And very
pet.
low maintenance. It's the kind of thing you'd expect from a guy like him.
Yeah.
Because,
It's
like
really good.
his whole body's treating as though it's low maintenance, like it shows the belt keeps on getting let out and let out and stuff
No,
like
it's
that.
terrific.
The notches
And
stuff.
I wouldn't expect something this good from Stephen King.
Yeah, who
honestly,
would've
like
expected?
Stephen King's early stuff was entertaining, and I think everybody would agree that his ghostwriters or Tabitha, I'm not sure, just are not doing the job for the past.
Well, you're an aficionado. You gave up on him before,
I-
before you hit your teens. How many people can say that?
Yeah, because
that's
I
very
started
impressive.
noticing. Honestly, I have known some people that were really into the Dark Tower gunslinger thing, but that was where I gave up. I was like, no, that's enough of that.
So I bet you read about a dozen or more of his books.
I don't know.
Yeah. You were
However
way-
many there were until, well, I guess I read that too, the gunslinger stuff. So however many there were until that, and then I did read a few over the years. And I, checking in every now and then, and we listened to some audiobooks while in the car, and I was just like, it's just not.
Well, I can't say I
So I
really
didn't
listened to them
entirely give
entirely.
up.
It was just kind of like wallpaper to me.
So there's got to be more than.
something's gotta
I
have
don't
something
know
on the
how
ball
many
to
he has.
keep me awake while I'm.
So I've went back to the trough several times, but honestly, once it hit the gunslinger, I really didn't put much time into it. Before then, I was going through everything.
No.
So I don't know how many. Lots. I mean, I read it. Well, you see how much I read now. I had no social life as a child. All I did was read. So, and make piñata. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Learned how to make pinatas very well.
Some artwork.
You might be a world-class expert on it. Yeah. Really. So, yeah.
But I liked this. I really, if it had been played by anybody, what is his name, Brendan Gleeson or something?
Yeah, Gleeson, spelled differently from
Brendan
Jackie Gleeson, but it's a very Irish name, I think.
I don't know that I would have cared for it had it not been from him. And I watched the most recent TV production of It not that long ago. And now I see the previews and I'm like, oh, I have to see that because that redhead, what is her name?
She's in this thing? Or?
She'll be not in this one.
Oh, okay.
She's in the TV production. Well, I suppose, is it a movie? I'm not sure.
Okay.
The new rendition of It.
You mean...
it's a Stephen King thing.
Oh, okay. See, the It I know of was written by a Russian novelist called Zamyatin or something like that.
There's probably been a few. It's
that's right.
Pretty basic title, really.
Yeah. Doesn't get more basic than that, except
Okay. We'll work on that one.
Yeah, we'll work on it. Well, James Joyce was talking in Ulysses, I think. No, one of the previous novels about how he was writing about. It's a different character, different name, but it's basically how he had a whole list of novels when he was a kid, starting with A, B, C. I think he was just going to go with letters of the alphabet.
When I was a kid,
he thought of it before Sue Grafton.
The Stephen King stuff was actually really lightweight. When I was a kid, I wasn't only reading Stephen King. I was reading all sorts of things, and like the V.C. Andrews stuff was creepy, and the John Saul stuff. I don't think any child should be reading that. And, in hindsight, but I was. I mean, my parents didn't know what I was reading, so. Anyway. And, well, I was reading a lot of other stuff, too. So, that was more... like, I would find things on garage sales, like I told James about it. Incredible things that the people who ran the garage sales must have just been laughing about it, because some things like I'd find books about like all sorts of I guess they would be called sexual perversions, but really graphic stuff, like definitely pornographic, and like pornographic to the point that you will never find that in a public library. Like that stuff, there was stuff about, I'm not going to talk about it while James leading, because it was really, really seriously, some of that
Twisted.
stuff has got to be illegal. But yeah, I would pick up these garage sale books and start reading like, so that's what that is. So I knew the proper terminology for all sorts of sexual quirks. Just because I'd find these things at garage sales, and just wild. I don't know where they brought them in from. Somewhere in Europe, where they're really Eastern Europe. I'm suspecting. I don't know how these people even got stuff into the country, because wow. But anyway.
Maybe they got some drug mules to bring in.
I don't know, but my butt's really wet from that cushion now. Wow.